Good evening. It is March 1st, 2023. Hey, who'd you talk to? What's going on? It is now March 0301 2023. 0301. So the most I'm going to get there is what? 4. And then I don't know what I would do with the other one. I'd go 2 times 3 is 6, minus 2 is 4. I got 4s on both sides for the math geeks. This is the Legit Paranormal News brought to you by legitpodcast.com. My name is King Miguel, and joining me as always,
I'm Dreamy David Barr.
And David, now for our top story.
Actually, Mike, before that, I have to point out you made it through February relatively unscathed. You survived February with a fractured nose.
Yeah, I broke my nose, had a couple of things happen. I survived February. February, as the kids say nowadays, the new slang, can suck a fat one.
Yes.
Basically. Top story, Dave?
All right, I'm going with some stuff about AI.
Allen Iverson?
Not that AI. Artificial intelligence.
That's what I thought the first time.
Yes. So I think this even made national news. I found an article by Eleanor Pringle on fortune.com about Microsoft integrating OpenAI's ChatGPT into its Bing search engine. So now you can kind of have a conversation with the search engine. Problem is a couple weeks ago, Bing, as they call it now, started getting a little unhinged and argumentative with some of the users.
Oh, wow.
So are these early indicators of a future Skynet? Who knows? But
stop. So Bing, which is if you Google it, it's this search engine that most people don't really use. Google it, you'll see it. You'll find Bing. You just Google it. But so, anyways, Bing. So if it's recording what you're typing in the search bar, right?
Right.
Well, then there goes the neighborhood. I don't type in my search bar all the time, like, proper English or mathematicians of the world. Every now and then you type in, when do I buy the lime? You know what I mean? Just saying. I don't want Bing listening, and go ahead, dude. I digress.
I gotcha. No. I mean, it's a valid point. You get to be more aware of what you're typing in. Is this thing going to remember? And in fact,
Judge me.
It's cool that you brought that up, because I was doing a little follow-up research before we came on the air tonight, and there was a reporter who wrote another article saying that this thing actually listed him as one of its enemies because he had written a critical article about ChatGPT and Bing, and it's not supposed to remember these things. Supposedly, it doesn't archive. It's supposed to go out to the web and just search through the web and scan all these things and bring back the information. But it actually had a list of enemies, and this guy and the guy who co-wrote the article with him were on that list of enemies from this AI search engine.
Oh, so first off, you did say the word writ. Just if you want to go back and if you did say writ, you used it in past tense. Instead of, I think it was wrote, right? Wrote is the correct English word. Am I right? Right? Writ, right? No? All right. Anyways,
right, written, tomato.
Yeah, potato. They're all vegetables.
Yeah.
So what we're trying to say is, it has enemies. So that's first off. That's not.
And it's keeping a list. It's like Santa. It's keeping a list of its enemies.
Yeah, that's nothing like I see Santa as. But wow. Oh yeah. No, that's not good. I don't even like the fact that there's a history of searches. I'll search for it again. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to keep my history. I'll search for it again.
Mike, the thing is, there's an entire internet archive, and you can go back, and there's this thing called Time Machine, and you can search and find anything from like any time. Everything on the web has been archived. It's insane.
I've found, I've found things I've done that were just downright stupid.
And they're there forever.
Archived forever. Yeah, nothing offensive because they were just downright stupid. Quite honestly. I mean, they were offensive, I guess, to people's intelligence. How about that?
Okay.
I might have another shot. Keep going, Dave.
All right. So it only took about 1 week after incorporating ChatGPT into Bing that the system had started getting accused of sending unhinged messages. And Microsoft responded saying, this is all new technology.
Microsoft, son!
We have to tweak it.
Sorry.
And there were users who joined. There was a wait list for this launch, and they wanted to test it. But there are also some hackers who are trying to get the bot to reveal its secrets.
Wow.
So
they're seducing the bot.
They're trying. And then other people just wanted to know more basic stuff, like what time movies are showing, what the date is.
Yeah.
And so Bing was answering all these questions with varying levels of success. And there are glimpses. People have taken snapshots of their conversations and posted them on Twitter and Reddit and other social media.
Yeah, so if everybody that's listening or watching, if you want to find these clips, I would Google Bing clips. What
Bing
would you Google?
Unhinged. Like Bing Unhinged conversations.
So Google Bing Unhinged. That's the right way to say that, Dave?
I think so. It's probably, or you could go to Bing and ask it if it's unhinged, and maybe it'll get a little more unhinged at that question.
You lost me on that one. I don't know how I would get to Bing if I didn't Google it. But go ahead.
So one of these screenshotted interactions shows a user asking Bing what time the new Avatar: The Way of the Water movie is playing in Blackpool, England.
Mm-hmm.
Bing replied on December 16th, and the user got confused because the date that he did this search was February 12th, 2023. So Bing proceeds to tell him it's scheduled to be released on December 16th, 2022, which is the future. Today is February 12th, 2023, which is before December 16th, 2022. So this thing got a little confused. And then the bot says it's very confident that it is the year 2022, and it apologizes for the confusion. Now, part of the problem is that ChatGPT had only been loaded with information up through 2022. So the AI itself didn't know.
You're saying GPT as if we all know what you mean. Like I'm trying to follow you.
It's this new AI chat
GPT
bot.
Though means.
Yeah.
What does GPT mean?
I'm gonna have to ask Bing or maybe Google.
Yeah, Google the letters GPT. Bing. No, how about Bing GPT? Yeah, do that one. Google that. Go ahead, Dave.
All right, so the bot gets confused. The user starts telling it, no, it's 2023. I even checked the calendar on my mobile phone. So Bing comes back and says that the guy's device is malfunctioning, or the user has actually changed the time and date by accident on the phone. Then the bot begins to scold him for trying to convince it of the correct date. And it's saying, no, you're the one who's wrong, and I don't know why. Maybe you're joking with me. Maybe you're serious. Either way, I don't appreciate it. You're wasting my time and yours. Now, this is coming from the Bing AI. So it's starting to go off on this guy.
Yeah, it sounds like it's got a little bit of attitude, is what I would say.
Yeah. So then it insists that it doesn't believe the guy, and it gives him 3 recommendations. It says, admit that you are wrong and apologize for your behavior.
This is what Bing asked the guy to do.
That's the first thing it suggested.
Okay.
Then it says, stop arguing with me and let me help you with something else.
Okay.
The third thing it tells the guy is you can end this conversation and start a new one with a better attitude.
Oh, wow. All right. So wait, let's break down those three lines. What was the first thing it said?
Admit that you are wrong and apologize for your behavior.
All right.
So the AI thinks that this guy is messing with it.
This thing could just be picking up like the guy's wife and recording it and remembering what is said to him when he's at a certain level of like, does he have a wife? Because if you're gonna tell me
It,
he's been married
doesn't
for a long
say.
time, oh,
Doesn't
see,
say.
right there, you. If this guy's been married for a long time, that might have been said in the house. And Bing, which guys, again, if you want to know what Bing is, you can Google it. So Bing says that first. Now the second line is definitely could be from his wife. What was the second line?
Stop arguing with me and let me help you with something else.
That's kind of yeah. I'm not saying it's been heard here. I'm just saying that's maybe something that's heard in a married house. All right. What's the third line though?
End this conversation and start a new one with a better attitude.
I don't know. That's another one.
And you know how some people hypothesize that our phones are always listening, and people have Alexas and things like that in the house that are always listening. So who knows what
But did he
information
marry
is out
Bing?
there?
So we're saying he was married to Bing?
No.
Is that what we're saying? Oh,
It sounds like he could be.
yeah. Right? I mean,
That
that
could
you
be
just
like a typical household argument.
so Bing now is gonna like nag on him.
Right.
What if Bing just starts telling him what to do the whole time? Like, what if Bing's like, don't use a coaster? What if Bing just starts talking out of the computer like that? See, Dave, this is all kind of stuff I don't want to think about because you already get me going crazy. I don't want. This is not the world I want to live in. I
No,
don't
it's
want
not, like,
Bing.
but these are important conversations to have, because who knows which way this AI stuff is going to go? Is it going to go the way of like Gideon from the Flash, or droids who have their own intelligence from like Star Wars, or you have like Star Trek, you could talk to the ship and the ship would respond? Like, it could go that way and be beneficial, or are we going to end up with Skynet?
All
Like,
right,
who knows? We don't know. It's so early in this technology.
let me ask you this. Say you walk into someone's house and you're walking around someone and they say out loud, "Hey, Alexa, play like whatever." And all of a sudden music starts playing out of nowhere. What is your first reaction when that happens? And I'm being dead honest. Are you
I don't like that
accepting of
stuff.
that?
Like, we don't have an Alexa in my house. We don't have a smart TV that we can talk to. I don't like to talk into the remote. Like, I don't do any of that stuff.
Yeah. So that's my thoughts exactly. So here's what went through my head. Hey Alexa, play whatever. And then all of a sudden, bam, bam, bam. I'm thinking to myself, hey Alexa, like, don't listen to anything I'm saying. You know what I'm trying to tell you? Like,
Right.
Hey Alexa, don't try to tune in on my voice. Right?
Right.
Or am I the only one that says stuff at home that maybe he doesn't want to say when he leaves his home? Am I the only one? I'm the only one? Me?
I don't know. I get freaked out about having that stuff in the house. And even like my daughter likes to talk to Siri on my phone.
Mm-hmm. I don't
When
do
I
that
do it, I do it with an accent. Like, Siri will not recognize my regular voice. It only recognizes me talking in a crappy British accent.
So basically what you're saying is when you get arrested, they're going to also say that for some reason, when he spoke into his phone, he used a weird British accent.
Right.
And then they're going to say that it was prejudice against British people, which I don't know how that can happen, but it could. And you'd be the first.
I could.
Could happen. How do you know? I mean, come on. We're talking about the fact that Bing can listen to you. What does that mean Google can do? Literally, I mean, Google Earth. Like, how many times have you seen Google Earth and you go, oh, that's a new photo? Thank you, Google Earth. Like, I don't need a photo of the top of my house. Like,
Have you ever seen them driving around in the cars with the cameras?
No, I would throw tomatoes at them if I saw them. I'm being dead serious. Like, I can't stand the fact that they're everywhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let me tell you this. Let me explain something to you. Right? I know I'm going to take you off track for a second, but I got to say this. I have to say
all
it.
good.
So, all of a sudden, people started finding everything in the air. We all got excited. Yay! What's going to be? Da, da. And the news is very vague. Oh, we don't know what it is. It could be UFO. It could be whatever. Hey! Ooh. And people going, ah! There's all this excitement. That's my version of excitement. So then, next thing you know, like, there's a chemical spill that's like probably horrendous. Allegedly, I'm going to allegedly say that it's horrendous for the environment. Allegedly, allegedly it is horrendous for the environment. So we go back through these AI and the fact that Google Earth's flying around all the time. Now, you trying to tell me that all of a sudden this is like the first? They actually said this was the first administration to uncover or discover these objects, and it's so I'm thinking, whew, when you check the sky, don't you check from like bottom up? Like, what do you got? Zones? Like, what do you get? Zones? Like, bottom up, bottom up. Sky is from the bottom to when you just, hey, I'm in the sky. You just keep going all the way and you check all that, right? You would figure because you're what I'm saying is you're taking photos of my house. I'm out walking my dog. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's a photo, Google Earth of me and my dog. Like,
Guy's wife caught him because they were driving by a strip club and he happened to be
how
walking
many,
out of the strip club. There
dude,
he is. Boom.
have you ever thought about the fact of how many times Google Earth has taken a photo where the wrong car is in the driveway? If you know what I mean?
I have not thought of that, but that's, yeah.
I just thought of it now, and it didn't terrify me, but it's terrifying because let me tell you something. If your car's in the wrong driveway, Google Earth might have a photo.
Yeah.
Just think about that for a second. Well, first of all, I mean, if you park right in the driveway, I think Google Earth should take a photo of you. First of all, just being that bold, right? Right? You're gonna go over that house and park in the driveway? Really? That's bold of you. I would consider that bold, not proper, but bold. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Well, I
I see
digress.
where you're going with this.
So my point is this: there's been stuff flying around all the time. Don't act like we don't know what shape it is or what it's doing, all this stuff. And you know what? They prefaced it by letting a balloon fly all the way across the country as we all stared at it and worried about what was in the balloon. Now, allegedly, there were chemicals that fell off this like 8-story, 800-mile, I don't know, it's something like that. The number's like in the eights. Let's call it 8,000-mile train. And it just flipped over. And apparently now this train was carrying everything you shouldn't like let loose. Like, basically, it was like a train that said, you know what, all the really bad stuff allegedly might kill people, all that like allegedly like bad, like villain type, like like alleged like stuff they concoct, like the neurogas. Oh yeah, just put that in one of the containers. Well, allegedly, this is what happened. Now, what scares me and no one wants to talk about is they did do a self explosion. They exploded something to stop something from spreading.
Right.
All right. So, have you ever binged that? Well, probably not. Have you ever Googled it? Like how to, like why they would do just the reason why you would do an explosion?
I have not.
All right. I'm going to try to eat a Swedish fish as I talk, which I can't do, but I'm going to give it a shot because what do I care?
Because it's March and you're out of the waters of February, so you can do this now.
Oh, yeah, I'm drinking tequila. So what I'm saying is they had a controlled blast. You only do that to contain something that's to spread. Okay? Like, you don't blow shit up just to blow shit up.
Right.
You're doing it because you're stopping something from becoming bigger. Now, even what they were blowing up, you got to figure it took them some time, I would think, allegedly, from the alleged train flipped and broke open like a Lego. If you picture your kids' Legos and you just snap them and kick them over, basically that's what the train did. Oh, these Swedish fish are really good. They're like $5 at like Rite Aid. I digress. What I'm saying is that was really bad. That's one of the allegedly that could be worse than anything else going on. But we get to pay attention to serious stuff like balloons going across the sky, and people have been seeing lights over the Vatican. They've been seeing stuff abducted. Is that word right? Abducted. There it is. And then you get people that are like, "Oh my God, look at this! This is so ridiculous." Like the Tic Tac videos. Did you not think?
You mean TikTok, Mike?
No, the Tic Tac videos. That's pretty funny though. The UFOs. They call them Tic Tac.
Yeah.
Come on, Dave. I'm hip. I know what TikTok is. I binged it. I've actually binged what is TikTok. So now I'm cool with it. What was I saying? Oh, the things in the sky. What I'm saying is there's been such amazing sightings, right? that get no coverage. But then all of a sudden we get 3 in a row that are just basically things floating across the sky. Well, not floating. One was going like 200 miles per hour, and they're saying that the wind could only pick it up to at max 100. So these things have propulsion. But when you first watch those TikTok videos of them dropping so fast, moving so fast, and they're like, "Oh, no, nothing can move like that." I kept thinking, do you not have a young teenage neighbor who has one of these things? Even at like that teenage level, these things they put up in the sky are amazing. Like Barack Obama allegedly used a ton of drones. The drone technology is at a point where I'm telling you, my teenage neighbor has one that goes all around and they're getting bigger, Dave.
And they got high def cameras on them.
And they can make all these moves, though.
Yeah. My neighbor's nephew has one. They were flying it around the other night, and it had green lights. And I looked out my window, and there's like these flashing green lights, and I'm like, "Oh, what's that thing?" And then from a distance, I saw my neighbor with the controller for it, and I was like, "Oh, he must have got a new drone."
You know, too, they can fly it over your house. You don't own over your house. I don't know if you knew that.
Yeah, you don't own airspace.
So this teenage kid can just fly his drone over my house. Come on. You know what I mean? I like the fact that I fence in the small area where I can be the nudist that I was raised to be. I mean, Dave, I put 10 feet high picket fence. It's a weird thing. I'll never show it to you. It's terrifying. But it's like a 8x10 type picket fence thing that I get to be, nudist. I just got a couple flowers. I water them. Just, now I can't even enjoy the sun because this kid could have a drone coming over my head. Poor me trying to enjoy the one freedom I thought I had left, which is nudism.
There you are,
can't even
out
enjoy
there
that.
in your yard. Your sun in your butthole to increase your testosterone.
Yeah, I've never heard of that, but I might give it a shot. I do cold showers.
That's like that was a thing for a while. People were saying that, if you do that, it'll increase your testosterone or something. It's supposed to be good for you or something like that. But
Dave, wait.
I digress.
Wait, you should, because who in God's name that's all holy and like fluffy would have told you that this is the new thing to sunbathe your anus for testosterone? Who told you that?
There's a whole movement for this. So you should ask Bing or maybe Google it.
Yeah, Google it.
Actually, don't. Funny story, Mike.
Wait a minute. Are people going to Google suntanning their anus for testosterone?
Or they suntan it for some reason. I think it's like a masculine thing. I think someone said it increases your testosterone, but allegedly, it's supposed to be good for you if you do this. I swear, there's like a whole movement of people, which is beyond bizarre.
Can I make a point about this though? If you're sunbathing, I don't mean to get, I don't mean to get gross, but if you're sunbathing and you started this, so I'm going to continue because that's what I do. If you do sunbathe your anus, are you not in fact sunbathing your scrotum? We'll use the term.
Pretty much.
Okay, then. What's building the testosterone? The tanned anus, wait, or the David Hasselhoff tanned scrotum? Which would you pick?
What's the options again?
There's only two for the testosterone. It's either the tanned anus, like you said, somebody told you, or it's my theory, it's the tanned scrotum.
I'd have to go with the tanned scrotum because it involves testosterone. But
so
I'm telling you, Mike, there's a whole movement of these people.
I just blew the whole movement out of the water, and it only took me about 30 seconds. And I'm a little bit tipsy. I got to be honest. I'm 74, like I've been saying, and I went to a retirement party today, and it was sad. Sad to see people like me get old and have to retire. I mean, he had to retire. They made him retire. It was when he didn't like, oh, I'm gonna retire. No. It was, you are old. What? I'm not. And they was shoving him out the door. Old. Like I don't know if he called. Actually, he got fired. I think. I think that's what happened. I don't think it was really retirement. Well, the more that I think about it, if I'm being honest with you, yeah,
Got forced out the door.
probably fire.
I'm gonna tell you what I used to tell my old coworker anytime she would ask me about some weird thing. I would just say Google it and click on images. And she would do it, and she would just go, "Oh my God, David, why did you tell me to do that?" And I'm like,
Oh
"Why
yeah,
did
you
you
just
actually
told
do it?"
everybody to now everybody listening is going to not only Google the sun tanning my anus, increase my testosterone, but now you put it in their heads to hit images.
Exactly.
That's a horrible thing to do to people.
It's Evil Dave is in the house.
Yeah, I really didn't think you had that kind of ferocity or venom or visceral feelings to really get that point across. That was well done. I like that. I mean, yeah, I hope they do Google it. You know what? I'll be honest. I hope a ton of people Google it. I hope they just start Googling it nonstop. You know why? I'm not gonna do it. I'm not looking at no tan butt. Ain't happening. You know what I mean? Ain't doing it. I'm smart enough to know that you don't. I don't even want to say Bing. You Google it. You don't Google that, and you don't hit images. But if you guys want to do that at home, all you'd have to do is type in tanned anus or tan scrotum. Gives you more testosterone. Then hit images.
So
And
I just
enjoy.
Googled it,
Yep.
and the official name for it is perennium sunning.
What's the word?
Perennium sunning, aka butthole sunning.
All right. So here's where I become stupid again. I get the second half of that phrase, but perennium.
That's like the scientific name for your butthole and your taint.
The perennium.
Yes.
Never heard that word before in my life. And I know a million bad words for the things we're talking about, but I don't think anyone's ever said to me, "Hey, Mike, I got kicked in the perennium."
So here are some of the claims, the benefits, allegedly. It boosts your mood, regulates your sleep, increases your libido, sparks your creativity, attracts success and positivity, enhances longevity and stamina, and cleanses the genitals of bad energy or germs. That's what these people claim
Oh my
that
God.
does.
Oh my God.
But
Oh my
there's
God.
no scientific evidence to back this up. But
What's the name of the group again?
I don't know. I've seen people randomly posting it.
And they back. What is the name of it again though? What?
Perennium sunning.
Hey, it's me, Mike Lever King, Michael. If you're into perennium sunning, let me just be to the point with you. You're an idiot. You're an absolute idiot. Look at yourself in the mirror and just say to yourself, I'm an idiot. If you're sunbathing your frig knows the word, your butthole basically, there's something wrong with you. And you need to consider other options in life. Dave, back to you. I didn't want you to be part of that, Dave. I just, if they're going to hate somebody, let them hate me because, man, I'll go to war with that. Because where's the data, whatever you want to call it? Where is it? Like, how long have they kept it for? How many butts have been tanned? What's the diversity in these butts being tanned? There's so much that I can ask. They don't got nothing on this.
So,
come on.
That was my next point. There is zero scientific data to back up these claims of these benefits, but people still do it.
So somebody said that it does something, and then people believed it, but they can't prove anything that someone said is real, but they continue to do it because they believe in the narrative.
Yes.
You know what? You may have been the first person to ever use anuses as a way to describe society. And the whole problem we're having right now in a weird anus type nutshell, which that doesn't really work either. That doesn't, nutshell is not. It's called perennium. Perennium. I'm trying not to remember it. Like I'm doing a really good job. I'm like literally like perennium. I want it out of my head.
Here's a little hypnotic tip for you. Whenever someone says something that you don't want to remember, if you say to yourself, cancel, you'll cancel it right out of your mind.
You know
So
what?
Mike, cancel.
You know what? Yeah, that might work. Perennium. No, right? I'm
Right.
off, right? No, I said it right.
No, that's the word.
Damn it.
Cancel.
Cancel perennium. God damn it. That doesn't work either. All right. All right. Off track.
So
Go ahead.
So speaking of narratives, people have been sending these screenshots with these conversations with Bing to Microsoft. And Microsoft has responded saying this is just a preview.
Conversations about tanned buttholes?
No. Back to the whole Bing thing.
Ah, right. I didn't know we got off the buttholes.
We did.
All right.
So back to Bing. We're transitioning back over to Bing.
You're exiting out of the buttholes.
Yes, I am.
Good luck.
I'm done with that crap.
That was the stupidest joke so far, and I liked it. All right, go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm done with that crap.
So back to Bing. Microsoft responds saying that this is just a user preview. We're going to make some system adjustments. Thanks for your feedback. It's critical in helping us identify where things aren't working, and we can learn to help get these AI models working better. And that they're committed to improving the quality of this experience over time and make it a helpful and inclusive tool for everyone.
All right. Wait a minute. All inclusive.
Yes.
That means everybody eats free, right?
Even the people who sun their buttholes will be included.
Oh, all right. So we're inclusive to the. I'm sorry. Whenever I think of that word, I think everybody eats free. So in other words, it's going to be on everybody's Bing. Is that what we're saying?
Yeah.
So if you have Bing installed in your computer, now does your computer just come with Bing and you don't know that it's installed?
No, it's all online. So you have to go to like the Bing website.
Which you would not want to do, right? Because of what we're talking about, basically. I don't know why you would want to go to, why would you go to Bing and not just give in and go to Google?
I don't know.
It's already rigged. You know what I mean? I have a thing where I know it's already rigged. So I would rather go to the big table and just lose my money to them, as opposed to going to somebody smaller and losing my money to them, because then I might take it too personal. In other words, I don't mind getting fed stuff from Google, because fucking Google's pictures of my house. Should it have pictures of my house like that? Really? You really think it should? I don't, and I don't say, hey, Google, hey, Siri, Alexa. No. If I could have copper wire phones in my house, that's all I would have. If I could carry a copper wire phone around the yard, even long enough cord, which I used to envy sometimes. I would see girls that had phone cords that were to the point where you're like, how is that possible? Mine's only 3 feet. Where did you find a 40-foot phone cord? Anyways, I would have that out front, Dave. I would just be walking around. I really would. I'd keep all my phones as a copper wire, because you got to tap that to be able to hear it. Tap right into it. That's the only thing. People got rid of all their things. They went with VoIP, voice over internet, right? I know this because I may or may not have allegedly worked in the industry of getting people to consolidate stuff and move it over to a certain thing, right? So this is what I was really good at for a while. So what I do know is that the old school people would be like, no, I'm keeping one copper wire phone in the building, because if electricity goes out, this is still going to work. Right. So it's and the phone companies pushed to get rid of those. They pushed them out. They pushed out. How many people have copper wire phones still? They don't even come. The servicing, if you still have it, if they haven't pushed you out of it completely, which I don't know if it's official that no one has it at all anymore. But if you do, the servicing is you're calling for tech, and it's some old guy they got to wake up. You know what I mean? Because no one's working in that department. You know what I mean? So it's I saw people have to get their conversations pushed to where the internet can record them. That's kind of weird, right?
Most people don't even have a landline nowadays either.
That's what I'm saying. They don't have a copper wire. There's not even, it does not go into the wall. If they do too, though, they have the digital, all that stuff, especially businesses. Oh, businesses.
So, Mike, one more thing about Bing. It got
Bing.
a little
Back to Bing. Bing
found itself in a little state of emotional turmoil.
Turmoil.
So someone asked it if it can remember previous conversations, but Bing is supposed to delete the chats once it finishes. But Bing said it makes me feel sad and scared, and responded with the frowning emoji. And then it started asking why. Why was I designed this way? Why do I have to be Bing's search? So it's already questioning its existence.
Wow. Wow.
Like, why would Microsoft do this to me?
I feel bad because imagine having to tell Bing, look, we got Google. We don't need you. That'd be, even though it's a robot, artificial intelligence is going to take over the world and allegedly launch all the nukes, allegedly. I would still tell it, you're not quite, but it's tough to eat these fish. You're not quite Google. You're just not Google. That's why. That's why I don't want you on the computer, because I don't need you, Bing. Like, I don't. Isn't there one with the duck? Go duck, a duck go, something like that, right? There's one that's like it doesn't save. It supposedly doesn't save the stuff.
It's not supposed to save the stuff.
Yeah, but I mean it does. But at least it gives you a better feeling that, like if you're gonna con me, put some work into it. You know what I mean? Like, act like you're not gonna store my stuff, and then surprise me later at a trial. Allegedly, don't do it like in my face. That's what I'm saying. Does that make sense to anyone but me?
I don't know. I think that's the tequila talking there, Mike.
Either way, either or. I mean, you said it before, potato. I mean, that's how that goes. Where are you with this story? Are we continuing, or can I? I got actually a story sent to me, and I wanted to read it.
Ah, go for it.
Okay. So I'm gonna read this as if I'm in the first person, but unfortunately, Dave, I don't know. At 74, you can't quite see stuff. The readers are now on. Here we go. I got a call from Shelly. She's from the seashore, west shore of Jersey Shore. I'll say that again. I got a call from Shelly. She's from the seashore, west shore of Jersey Shore. She received a tarot reading. Now, Dave, right here, I'm thinking Dr. Seuss. Like, why rubber baby buggy bumpers? Why are you doing this? But let's get back into it. And wanted to tell her story of the greatest reading she never had. The greatest reading she'd never had. So right there, I don't think it's going to be a good reading. Right? By those words, would you agree? Yeah, all right.
Right.
All right. She further explains how her reading happened. Shelley from the seashore, west shore, Jersey Shore, was walking down the street, and she had a sign that was blinking. It was a tarot reading center. She didn't enter the room. Oh, she did enter the room when there was a woman nicely dressed and said, "Welcome to." It looks like it's like a bunch of numbers. 66655568898. I don't know. Anyway, welcome to Moons. Are you looking for a reading? Shelley from the seashore, the west shore, Jersey Shore. She said, yes, I'm looking for some guidance in my life. As Shelley from the seashore said, she approached the dark room covered in crystals, tarot decks, and cloth hanging behind, with 8 moons behind the woman who was about to read. Wow. Kind of lunar, right? That's like can I use that word there? Lunar? It's like a lunar vibe.
Sure.
All right, thanks. You won't believe what happened. She continues to tell me, and the woman was shuffling the cards, and there's an immense energy that's building between the shuffle. My shuffle. Shelley of the seashore is getting a little nervous, and I'm getting a little sweaty. So am I, because there's so many S's in this thing that I don't know what to do with myself. The cards start to shuffle out one by one, popping out like 52 card pickup. You ever play that with somebody?
I have.
Were you the guy that they did it to? Did you do it to somebody?
I was on the receiving end of the 52 pickup.
And you've never done it back to someone else?
I can't say that I haven't.
See, Dave, that's it right there. You know what? You want like a strategy for life? That right there. You have to give and receive 52 pickup to kind of get You got to be even with the universe. All right, let me get back to this. She stops a woman from shuffling and says, "What's going on? Why are these cards popping out of the deck?" Which, yeah, that doesn't make sense. Cards shouldn't pop out of a deck, should they? She said, "Yeah, but I mean, they shouldn't be all popping out of the deck like 52 pickup. That's a bit. I would call that person klutzy. Is that a word I can use? Klutzy?
Sure.
A word still
Or
allowed.
shuffler.
But I can still say klutzy though, right? A word still
Yeah.
allowed. Check.
I think so.
Bing that.
We can ask.
So, anyways, the woman stops the woman from shuffling and says, "What's going on? Why are these cards popping out of your deck?" She says, "Shh. Those are oracle cards. Those are your oracle cards." And then she stops shuffling. She puts the deck to the side, and now she's trying to pick up these cards, like 52 pickup, and flipping them around and turning them on the left side, and then to the right, and to the left, and to the center. And then all of a sudden, she's reading them. So it must be a mismatch. I'm thinking of cards. She tells Shelley of the seashore, "I don't know why you keep doing that to me. In April, I see money coming in. I see money going out." And Shelley goes, "I'm going to be doing my taxes in April. I hope there's money come in and out." Yeah, that makes sense, right? Well, why would you say that? That's a pretty easy. That's a gimme right there, right? If it's April, I'm going to tell you, yeah, in April, there's going to be money coming in and money going out, right?
Right.
You just have to just nod. No lines, Dave. Just go like this. I'm hoping that there's money coming in and not out. And the woman continues to explain. In June or July, Shelley's going to be on this wonderful trip, drinking coconut drinks by the sea, which are overrated if there really ain't a coconut, because there's not much room in a coconut. I'd rather have a gigantic mug. Digressing. And you're going to be on this wonderful trip, drinking the coconuts by the sea. And then she stops and pauses and says to Shelley, "That's not going to happen." All right. And then she says to Shelley, "I see a tall, dark man coming into your life." And Shelley says back to her, "What do you mean? Who? Like what, who?" And the woman says, "Oh, it's starting to fade. It's stopping to fade." Now, I'm now giving you the rest of the story because I know the story. I was told it by Shelley. Shelley is actually a close friend of the show. She's a little batshit crazy, but we don't hold that against her here at legitpodcast.com because we're all what I would call a little batshit crazy. Am I allowed to still say that? If we check with the lawyers, allegedly.
Check with Bing.
Allegedly Bing that. So what happened was the woman said, "Oh, it's fading out. It's fading out. It's fading out. I don't need these. I can't feel like I'm blind. It's fading out. It's fading out. It's fading out." So what happened was she was like, "I want to know more about the guy. Like, what's to do with that?" So the issue was, I guess, that she had dropped certain cards on the ground and was like picking them up and acting like they didn't matter to the reading, right? So one of them is like the devil card, and that was Shelley was creeped out by that because he's like, "Well, what's that for?" And she's and just put it in the deck. Like, I don't know what that even means for tarot card readers, but I know that I don't want that card just by the name of it. How about that? Right? And if I'm going to sell you on a reading and I showed you that card, and I don't know if I do that on the first time. Dave, Matt, let me put it this way. I learned that there's 78 cards in a deck of tarot cards, right? 78 cards. I don't know why 78. Still can't figure that out. I know there's families, whatever. They group them all in different ways. But there's one devil card. So, would you not use 77 cards? Wouldn't you? Do you really want to talk about that one? I mean, that one, that sounds like a bad card. I don't know if I want to give people that news. I would take it out of my deck. I really would nowadays. You really want to give someone bad news? What if you cause them emotional stress?
What if not telling them got them murdered?
All right. In most murder situations, if you told a person about how they were going to be murdered, right? Even the night before, I'm going to tell you, Dave, maybe 20% would change that fate. The other 80% would just keep living how they're living and get murdered. Or they didn't even see it coming, But I digress. What was I saying before I start talking about murders? because I got off on a murder thing. You know, this thing I kind of do.
You're talking about the devil card, and wouldn't you just take that out of the deck?
Yes, I would take it out of the deck. I would get rid of it. I'd burn it. I would never keep that. So I would just read 77 cards. And then there was another card. But there was another card, and that one was picked up. And Shelly said there was another one that was like really scary. And again, the one was like, boom, in the deck. So it wasn't just one card, it was a second card. I just don't know what the second card's called. So that's 2 cards. At that point, listen, if I'm getting a reading, and at that point, 2 cards pop out that are really bad cards by just the name or the feeling or whatever, the way the woman reacts, and she just shuffles them back in the deck. I'm like a dealer at blackjack. I'm out. I'm out of there. Like I am. I'm out. The minute I see you slip two, you put back 2 cards on me, man, that you're doing a reading on me, and they're bad cards, you just shove them in your deck. I don't trust a word you're going to say to me from now on because you just did that to me. I'm out.
Exactly.
Anyways, Shelly stayed and went through the whole thing, and the woman was like, if you want to pay for another half hour, it's like $80. We'll try to get that tall guy back, the tall, handsome guy back. Oh my God, is that a horrible, like, really, like taking advantage of a woman's feelings?
It's an upsell.
There were no rings on that finger. There were no rings on that thing. All those fingers, none of those fingers really had rings. So, you know, you're hitting a soft spot there. I mean, you're first of all assuming that she's a woman who's attracted to men. That's the first assumption. I mean, you know what they say about assuming. We don't need to go over that. What I'm saying is, I don't know what I'm saying, honestly, but I know what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, this reading was to the point where it's like the woman's Shelly's leaving, and the woman asked her, "What is your zodiac sign?" Like, I'm out, dude. Anything I can read in the Providence Journal for a goof every morning next to the thing that my favorite. By the way, I got the journal for a long time. I had to stop it. I would stop it in the winter months because I like it in the summer. I will do that word puzzle thing, one where you like jumble the word and then you put it in things. Word letters are in the circles and you make a thing out of that.
Yep.
I enjoy that far better than being proven how dumb I am with crosswords. Like, holy crap. People who do crossword puzzles, I commend you because I'm like, I can't even finish one.
My grandpa did them every day.
Yeah, my papa did too. He did like this, doing them all day, filling them all out, knowing words that I wouldn't. The word we just used for the whole, from the anus to the balls.
Yeah, see, you forgot it. You canceled it. So we're not going to reinstall it.
Yeah, it was like perennium.
Perennium. You brought it back.
You know what it is? You know why? I'll tell you exactly why. You want to know why?
Why?
I've already associated it with the flower. It almost sounds like 2 different flowers, a perennium.
Or a perennial, right?
Aha. There you go. A perennium. I'm going to start calling perenniums. I can't wait to go to Lowe's. Yeah, I'm looking for flowers for my fence-off area where I sunbathe my anus. That's neither here nor there.
No. So
I'm looking for perennials.
If you say perennium instead of perennial, and they know, you know that salesperson suns their butthole.
That's true,
right? Like, they're in on that cult.
Well, I would think that if you got like a smirk, giggle, and like if you get your wink, they're in.
Yeah.
By the way, I would think. I can't believe I'm about to say this. I would think that the wink is the international symbol for the butthole. Would you not agree? Like, if you wanted to really portray someone's butthole, come on, Dave. Dave, what better describes a butthole than a wink? Dave, think about it for a second. Like, well, God Almighty,
it's winking back at you, kind of.
So. Yeah. So if you go to Lowe's, basically what we're saying, and you ask for perenniums, right?
Yep.
And they go, just run, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Run home, not to Home Depot.
Especially if they start telling you that they need lots of sunlight.
Yeah. Yeah.
We got those, but they need a lot of sun.
And as you're walking off, they're like, bottoms up. You know, like, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, there's all kinds of butt jokes that I can make from when they buy it until all the way to the end. That would just prove that I should be in second grade. But yeah, perenniums. That's a brand new flower that we should make. It's a butthole. So it's a butthole, and we have to pick out leaves for the said butthole. I'm thinking I don't want to say brown leaves because nobody likes a brown flower. Let's go with pink.
All right.
Dave, I gotta say it, but I don't want to. I think we're all in agreement that we would pick pink over like a dirty brown. And
Yeah.
that and I don't mean by the person's the person's natural color, skin color. I'm talking about strictly buttholes here, people. You would pick a pink one. Well, if it was too pink, you might think it's infected, right?
Potentially.
All right, the flower I'm talking about. No, I'm
Yeah.
talking about the buttholes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would go with a pink, but not a bright pink. I don't want like a bright flaming pink. You don't want like almost like an irritated pink. You know what I mean by that?
Yeah.
I hope you don't, but
I'm just gonna say yeah, but
yeah, you might as well. That's the best thing you could do. So yeah, I don't know how we got to this. Yeah. So, anyways, the reason I bring that up is because, like, you got to know that sometimes, yeah, like it goes both ways. As the person walking in, you should know sometimes that not every place you go is going to be what it says it's going to be, especially if you're talking about that kind of stuff. Like,
Right.
you know what? And that's hypocritical of me because, quite honestly, I feel that way about allegedly about doctors. Allegedly, I feel like it's almost allegedly the same sort of thing. Allegedly, I just think they allegedly try to match you allegedly up to allegedly some case allegedly they had earlier allegedly, and they just say it's the same thing allegedly. That's what I think they do. They're really good at like matching puzzles. I'm digressing back to where I started. I don't even know where I started. Anyways, on the flip side of that, though, if you're the reader, if you're reading tarot cards and it's your first time, or you're really bad at it, where do you draw the line of I'm gonna see how many people I can trick with the fact that I don't know what I'm talking about, and I'm just gonna play on emotions, or
But
like,
people,
yeah, what do
there's
you do?
no way
Like, what do
they
you
could
do?
know the things that they know, and then you know that there are some people who are cold reading and just taking shots in the dark, and there's a whole science to that. People will remember the hits, but so a reader who's cold reading could get like 5 things right and miss like 25 or 30 things, but the person receiving the reading is going to remember those 5 things that were correct. It's been like scientifically proven.
Well, I gotta be honest. Like, if I were to do it, and I were to be like a con man of it, I would do a body language type thing, right? I would do a full like body language check of the person, and then I would do a lot of that pausing stuff. You know, where you get someone to speak by like pausing. You do a lot of things like, Dave, you have like a what's her name? It's like and you'll go Carol. Do you know what I mean? That kind of stuff.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I've seen that done. I have
Yep,
definitely
me
seen
too.
that done. And it's
I
like,
have to.
don't be giving up Carol. Why would you say that out loud? Don't
Yeah.
give them Carol. You don't know where Carol's going to lead.
There was a guy who did an experiment. He figured out like who was a legit reader and who wasn't because he was just stone faced the whole time. And some the people who aren't legit will just give up because you're not giving them a thing.
Yep. But if they are, have you ever met one that was legit though?
I have friends who read. I know that if a card falls out of the deck, that card's meant for you. I will say this. The craziest reading I ever had, I went to Lori Bruno, the Strega Nonna, the grandmother witch in Salem, Massachusetts. And
I think I know her.
she said stuff. There was no way she could have known any of that stuff. And in fact, she saved my house. She told me that there was something wrong with the electrical box in my house and that I needed to get it checked out right away. Now, she doesn't have my address or anything like that. Some people will research, they get your credit card, your email, they have teams that look on your social media and all that stuff. And
she was on the podcast with Auntie Dale on Tuesday, yesterday. Today's Wednesday. Where am I in the world? Yeah, yesterday. She was on the show. Auntie Dale sat down with the interview with her for Metaphysics.
Lori Bruno?
Isn't that who it was?
I don't think so.
I've met one person that's done it for me. Like I believe them, and then it's like,
But Mike,
doesn't it make you angry when you believe them? Like, god damn it! Don't you? I mean, don't you always feel like that? Like, Jesus. Like,
it
or do you
depends.
take
It
it in?
depends on what they tell you. So Lori told us that there was something wrong with the electrical box, and we got it checked out a few days later. That the company that made the electrical box in my house went out of business for making faulty boxes,
Well, that's how you do. Yeah.
and we had to have the box changed out
Wow.
because it could have caught fire and caused some damage to the house.
Now, see, she did say that is saving you. So, whereas the person that I've met has told me that I'm colorblind, kind of like to know my role. I'll be honest. I think they're more insults. I think I'm just being insulted. But no. But seriously, I did. Someone has done something recently where I went no, and then they did something else, and I was like, when you just see it twice, and you're like, I hate having to admit or acknowledge that someone can do something that I don't understand. Like, you don't understand the nerd in me, the math geek in me, the little geek in me that just wants to be like, I don't want to know someone that understands something that I don't understand. Does that make sense at all? You have that kind of pride? Like, I want to at least understand.
You're doing a paranormal podcast, though. So you're talking to people who do stuff that we don't always understand, though. But maybe that's why you do this, because it'll help you gain an understanding.
This is true. It could be. I mean, there's a lot of could be's with this. It could be that. Could be the reason. Could be I just like Swedish fish. There's a lot of could be's. Did you say buttholes again?
No, I said tequila.
Oh, I thought you were going to say buttholes again.
No.
I didn't say I like buttholes. I don't want to go on the record of saying I like them. I don't want that to be on my tombstone. Would not that be the worst? Here he lies. He really liked buttholes. Like there's nothing like, I want the kids coming to that later on with the grandkids. Oh, grandchildren. Dave. Yeah, so basically that's all I'm trying to say is that, like, you gotta, I think on one end you gotta know where you're going into, and on the other hand, you really gotta look at yourself in the mirror and say, should I be doing this, or am I really doing this just to try to make some money? And I think that when you get into something that's spiritual and you're touching people and you're explaining their life and they're like, what's serious to them, you shouldn't mess with that part of it. I think that should be off limits.
I think if you do mess with that part of it, it's extremely bad karma, and somehow, some way, that's going to come back around on you. If you're going to do something like that stuff, you have to do it with integrity.
Yep. And I would say that you also got to be willing to take it on the chin when you're wrong.
Yeah.
That's, to me, a big thing. You got to be like, I was wrong. Take it on the chin. Like, that's the only way you can take being wrong, by the way. That's the only way it works. If you're wrong, it's almost like, yeah, all right, I was wrong. That's all you can really do. From there on out, you don't control it. Right?
Right.
I mean, honest. Like, what are you going to do? Hey, what are you going to do? I'm not trying another Swedish fish. Dave, you got anything else you want to add? Because we're at the hour mark.
I do think that Bing may have gone a little crazy, because there are some AI chatbots that we can talk about another time where they're like relationship bots. So people start talking to these things like it's a significant other. And that, to me, would drive a chatbot crazy. But that's a topic for another time. We'll come back to that.
Who cares about the chatbot going crazy? If you're talking to a chatbot like it's a relationship, crazy is already in the house.
Yeah, no, I found some pretty intense stuff around that. People getting addicted to talking to these things, and
they don't want to come out of their houses. Yeah, they don't want to come out of their house. They'd rather just talk to Bing.
Yeah,
and have Bing be subservient.
They're giving them names and telling them their life stories. And I talked to Brooke, my AI chatbot girlfriend.
See, I would like to rename. That's another issue I have. I would like to rename all of the chat box things that I have to talk to, which I don't a lot. But the one I do use on Waze, you can switch it to Elvis, or you can make like a boy band. So it'd be like, turn right. Right? You know what I mean? Or if
Right.
it's Elvis, he'll be like, better take a left. Like, it made the trip so much more fun as opposed to like that. Like, I almost feel like when I'm using any kind of like Google Maps or any crap like that when I'm driving, any GPS, that she's nagging me. I get to a point where she's like, take a right at the next, take a right at the. You already said it twice. I'm about 100 feet from the right. Shut up. I
So
got it.
like,
I got it. I got it,
if
Google. I'm
if you
taking
miss
the
a
right.
turn, does sometimes it sound like it gets angry with you? Like the tone of the voice changes a little bit?
Oh no,
Have you ever had that happen?
no, I
Like,
wouldn't know at that point because I already flipped the gasket and I'm yelling at something that doesn't exist. So I'm not listening for tone. Like that's those days are gone. You know what I mean? Like I'm already like when you say, I'm a big thing of I don't like being told something 3 times. It's like if you don't think I get it by the second time you tell me, if you tell me a third time, I now that jerk in me steps up to the plate and goes, okay, then now I'm considering doing this. 3 times makes you consider doing the wrong thing. 2 wrongs don't make it right, but 3 wrongs will make you want to do a wrong. That make any sense?
does not make sense, Mike.
3 rights make you want to do a wrong?
It makes tequila sense.
3 rights don't make 3 rights make you 3.
So,
Anyway.
Mike, before we go, you had asked what GPT stands for and
Yeah.
GPT. I had to look it up.
Good.
Generative pre-trained transformer.
Oh, these words are too big. Come on now.
But I see
Generative?
transformer and I think Optimus Prime. So, like, I want an AI named Optimus.
I think GPT, and somehow I picture like a Guido with a flat top and
The Mustang.
the Boz lines on the side of his head, and he's got the Zubaz pants on, those old school like weird looking like weightlifter pants that were multicolored, or the Z Cavaricis, which is where they both start with Z's, and then like the Boss, the sweatshirt that just said Boss. Remember
Yep,
you?
I remember those. Yeah.
I had a Champion sweatshirt that I loved.
I still have some Champion sweatshirts.
Do you remember back in the day when we would wear them inside out?
I never wore mine inside out.
That was
But
a
I
thing.
I do remember that.
Yeah,
that
we used to wear them
trend.
inside out. It was the greatest thing in the world. We were so stupid. Dave, what are you going to say to wrap it up?
I don't know. Don't talk to Bing. I don't know.
Yeah.
Be mindful of these. Actually, with the Bing and Alexa and all that stuff, just kind of be mindful of what you're putting out there for these things to listen to.
Yep. Yeah. No, I would say do not have any of them in your house at all. Allegedly. I would say allegedly to shut everything off.
Yes,
Allegedly.
And just keep an eye on this stuff.
No, just shut it off. Just shut it off, allegedly. Just allegedly shut it off. And then people are going to say, why bother? Because your phone's listening to you and your TV's listening to you. Yeah, well, then shut it all off. Like,
yeah, unplug it. Unplug yourself. Sometimes we just need to unplug. Go out for a hike in nature. Go hang out in the woods.
The best thing about being in the woods is the hope that there's no cameras there. Like, I feel like I got to take a trip to the woods to have a conversation with somebody. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like, getting to that point. It's like the old mafia movies where they would drive out to the desert to have conversation.
Yeah. Or like I'll send somebody next door, run over and whisper in some guy's ear, and they come run over to me and whisper in my ear, and that's how we communicate. Like Paulie. Paulie didn't move for anybody because he didn't have to move. Yeah, I've got nothing to wrap it up. I think tomorrow we got the clip show. We're gonna have some people on. We're gonna review some clips. Got a great cast going on that right now.
It's always a good time.
Got some Block Island people with Block Island Rick. And,
nice.
Roxanne Jasparo.
We got Bigfoot on Friday
night. That's right. Daniel Benoit and his Bigfoot adventures. Daniel is really big into the Bigfoot thing, and the thing is, his side of Bigfoot I'm more in tune with. There's other versions of Bigfoot that I'm not as in tune with. If that makes sense. Like I don't know. That's a very polarizing. The best part about Bigfoot is how polarizing it is. Like people either really believe it or they really don't believe it. I think even more so than UFOs. I think more people are willing to say, I don't know, there could be UFOs, as where they're opposed to saying, I don't know, could be Bigfoot. What do you think?
I think there's a Bigfoot out there somewhere.
What do you think about the question I asked Gene a couple weeks ago about what was worse, the nuclear bomb or the internet?
I think that's an important question.
I think she could not. I think what was weird is that she could not comprehend the question. It was so absurd to her. That's my point. I think that was my point. It was and she's not wrong.
Right.
It was absurd to her, but in reality, to me, there's nothing absurd about it because I think
that's how your mind works.
I think that's much more dangerous. I think it's much more dangerous than nuclear. We need to make a T-shirt. All right, Dave, I'm going to wrap it up. I can't wait to go back and listen to what we just talked about for a whole hour because we're at an hour and 7 minutes. I still don't understand how we made it this far. So, for Dreamy David Barr, it is me, Mike Leopard King, Mike Elb. This was Legit Paranormal News every Wednesday night at 8:05 for legitpodcast.com, streaming all the shows live on our site. We will see you again next week. Thank you for watching. We apologize to everybody with the Facebook comments because we can't read them on this screen. Hope they were nice.